Hi guys, I'm back again with my first actual coloring tutorial in my Prismacolor technique series that I'm doing. And if you would like to know the supplies that I'm using in this video and the upcoming videos, please refer to the first video in the series, and you will find a list of supplies as well as links to those supplies in that video, okay? So today we're going to begin coloring skin. Now this image is a stamped image from tiddlyinks.com. It's a clear stamped called Beach Babe, and I will put a link down in the description for you. And what we're going to do is each video in the series until I finish coloring her is going to include a different part of her. So for today we're going to be coloring skin. Next we'll color hair, her clothes, and so on. And then I will bring in other images to show different techniques such as wavy hair, fur, different things like that, okay? So I'm going to start off with her skin today, and there are 4 Prismacolors that I use for hair, or for skin, excuse me, every single time for Caucasian skin, okay? And I do actually have a separate tutorial that I did quite a while back on African American skin. So if you would like to, you can refer to that as well over on my channel. So the 4 colors that I use for skin are light peach. It's PC927 is the number here. Then I use peach, which is PC939. I also use burnt ochre, which is PC943, and then carmine red for the blush is PC926. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start in with this here. Let me move a couple of things out of my way here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take my light peach. This is the lightest color, and I'm just going to go over the entire area of skin, mainly her face here. She's got a little bit of skin everywhere else. So we'll do her face, her neck. She's got little tiny shoulders in here, her tummy, and her feet and legs. Just a quick little go over with that, okay? Now, when I blend this out, I'm going to blend it out using a blending stump and Gamsol brand odorless mineral spirits. This is the only one I recommend using. And when I go over and blend with this, it's actually going to blend it out quite a bit, and it's not going to be very noticeable at all, but that's okay. We know that the color is there, and once it's all colored in, it will come together. Okay. So you can see, you can barely tell that it's colored, but it is. It's there. Her little toes. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to take light peach, or excuse me, peach. This is the next color up. So we started with light peach, now we're going to peach. And I'm just going to go over the perimeter of her face, okay? What I do when I color is you always want to have a light source. And for me personally, it's all a matter of preference, but for me, I always have a center light source. So to visualize that, I pretend like there's a light pointing directly at her. Whether it be a spotlight or, whatever. Now, if I had an image where they were holding a candle or a lantern or something like that, then I would adjust my coloring according to that. Or if there's a sunshine in the image or something like that, then I would adjust for that as well. Okay. So as you saw, I just went over the perimeter of her face, a little bit on her neck and shoulders. I went on either side of her belly and then on the top only. I didn't go on the bottom. And then I just went on this side of her legs, okay? And then I just put a little color there in her toes. Okay, I just wanted to zoom in just a tad bit more for you to see that. Okay, then I'm going to take my blending stump again, dip it in the Gamsol, and blend that out. And what I'm doing is using circular motions. You don't always have to do circles. Obviously, you might get in a tight spot where you just need to do a line or something like that. But essentially what we want is for the center of her face to be lighter, because if there were a light right here, her face would stick out more, obviously, where her nose and things were. So that's where the most light would be. And then the rest would kind of fall into shadow. And you want to create shadows where her hair comes over her face, different things like that. So you really have to kind of think about where you want your light source. If there was a light source here, then, you know, you would have your shadow right under here where her hairline is, and then on this side of her face, or this side of her tummy, or this side of her legs, right? And then the same goes for that, except for the opposite. If you had a light source over here, you know. So you can adjust accordingly. It's all a matter of preference. I, like I said, normally have kind of a center light source. Okay? It's just, for me personally, it's easier to do it that way. Okay? So she's got a little more color now, and I'm actually going to go in again with the peach and put more color down. If there's a color that you're using and you've used it once and it's not the pigment that you want a stronger color, just go over it again, or you can use more pressure when you go over it, and that will give you a darker or more vibrant color. Okay? So just go in with that, blend it out a little more, and there you have it. I'm going to blend on in a little bit more with her center of her face. Okay. You don't want like lines in the skin, but you want there to be a noticeable gradients in the shades. Okay. So there's that. Then what I'll do is come in with the burnt ochre and go just where the most shadow would be. So right here under her hairline, I'm going to go right here, some over here where her hair is, a little tiny bit under her chin here, and maybe even some here where this hair is kind of falling in her face. Okay? Go in, same with the neck and shoulders. Those are going to be darker because her head obviously is going to be casting a little bit of a shadow. And then here, under the bathing suit here, it's going to have a little shadow there. And as well on her legs, there's going to be shadow here because she's got this little skirt type thing here. Okay. So there's that, and then just a tiny little bit on her toes. Okay? And then we'll just blend that out as well. I'm not pulling it all the way in to the center. I'm just pulling it in just a tiny bit toward the center, but not all the way to the center. Like, I'm not coloring here at all anymore. And now I'll kind of go in circles here just to make it look more blended. Okay? Neck and shoulders, here on her tummy, and then her legs and feet. Okay? Now the final thing that I like to do is go in with carmine red, which is for blush. Now this is going to blend out a ton. Like, that looks pretty red right now. When you blend it out, you're going to hardly be able to see it. It's going to look very natural. Much more natural than, like, there is a color in this pack called blush pink, but it's super, super light, and I really like this carmine red and the effect that it gives a lot more. Okay, so I see here, you can see here where her face is lighter in the center, but I see here where I would like it a little bit lighter. So I'm taking my white eraser and I'm just very lightly kind of erasing a little bit here. Now if you erase too much, like here, I can see that I erased a little bit too much. Just take your blender, your blending stump, don't re-wet it, don't put more color down or anything, just kind of go over it again. And it'll still be lighter than what it was before, because you're not adding any more color, but you're just kind of blending it back out again so that it looks nice and smooth. Okay, so that is it for her skin. Blend that out a little tiny bit more. Okay, so that's it for her skin. That is the normal skin tone that I like to do. She's actually a little more tan because she's a beach babe. So sometimes I don't do them quite that tan. If you don't want them to be quite as tan, don't put as much of the burnt ochre in. Okay, but I really like her to be nice and tan because she is a beach babe. Those are the 4 colors that I use. I have them listed in the description below if you need to reference this video again. You don't have to watch the whole thing. So the colors that I've used are listed below, and that's it for the skin, and I hope you will join me next time and we will color her hair. Okay, so thanks for watching. Bye.